Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a Krispy Kreme donut. It's number 8. So let's see what we've got in here. Okay, so we have got, pop that packet in the bin for a minute, there we are. We have got the glass and straw, that, the nozzle for the decadent cream, which is cream cheese apparently this time. We've got frozen latte glue, which is obviously not glue, it's resin. We've got the little tongs, this time not cat paws. I think the cat paws were just for the special edition ones. We've got the little Krispy Kreme box, notoriously hard to open, to be continued. And then we have got the ooh, now look at that. It's all speckled. Not seen one of those before. Very exciting. So there's me thinking that they're always the same. No, this one is not. So this is the one we've got today, which is obviously number 8 on there. Not very many left to do now. So let's get this started. So the first thing that we do is go straight in with the cream cheese. My goodness, that never happens. So let's grab the nozzle, pop that on there, grab the donut. Do you know, I'm going to put it there actually, and then just do a swirl. Okay, I'm just going to give this a bit of a roll in my hands just to warm it up a bit. Okay. There we go. So I'm just training this around like that. See, the swirl on that side is really nice, but on this side it's gone a bit wrong. Just going to see if I can marry that up a little bit. Okay, and then I'm just going to do another squeeze, I think. Okay. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but I think it's gone quite nicely. Let me just finish off this little edge here. And I've started using my extras in unique ways. I'll show you one in a minute, but I don't think it's too bad, honestly. So one of the things I used my extras for the other day was to ice this little cake. So I had extra Krispy Kreme decadent cream left over, so I decided to do a little cake, and I think it's turned out quite nicely, to be honest. Right, so I'm just going to leave that to one side to do its thing. And then it says to, gosh, covering everything in there. That now. Just rub my hands together just to try and dry that off a bit so we don't cover everything. So yeah, the next thing we do is to take our frozen latte resin. Pop the lid off of that. Now I have got some chocolate left over, and obviously, as I've said before about these, when you're doing these, they don't unfortunately reseal because they come with the nozzle as the lid. So it will eventually run out and go bad. So I'm going to use the chocolate left over from one I did the other day. And I'm just going to hold that on its side. There's not a lot left in here as it is, but get something out of it. There we go. I'm just going to just drizzle that inside. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just a little bit of a drizzle inside there. I'm going to pop a little bit in the bottom as well. And just continue to drizzle that around. Just makes it a bit more unique, because obviously this kit doesn't suggest to do that. So anybody else that's got this kit is not going to have done that, unless they've had the exact same idea as I have, which I doubt, honestly. So yeah, I think that looks quite nice as it is. I've got a lot more left in there, but... And then we're just going to squeeze this in, and it will mix slightly, but it will also leave some of that darker colour. So I think it will look really nice once it's done. Just keep going. If I can, I'd like to use all of this in here, really. I promise that's the tube and not me. And I love these, the Krispy Kreme resin as well, because it is a lot thicker, which is always good. So just finish that off. Hoping, as I said, that I can get all of this out of here. I don't normally like to use up everything, but when it comes to these, because of the way the nozzles are brilliant, but because they don't seal properly, if you don't use it all up straight away, you're going to have problems. So I would really like to use it all. Really is not a lot left in here now, which is good. I'm just trying to get every last little drop that I can. And you can see, because how thick it is, those bubbles come, well, you can't really see there, those bubbles come right up to the surface, and then they get bigger and bigger, and then they do pop themselves. So obviously I do go in and pop them a little bit, but they're not too bad. And they don't stay down within the glass either, which is very good. So keep going, not much now. And that's the lot, I feel. So just pop that to one side, grab my straw, and just use that to pop the big bubbles that are at the top. Like that. Okay, and then we're just going to pop that straw right into the middle, because although these always show them off to one side, I don't know, yes, actually I will do it off to one side. I was going to say, although they always show them off to one side, you know, it is quite hard to get the whipped cream, but then you get a nice, neat peak. Whereas if you do it the way I was about to do it, it's just not going to work. So let's do it that way around. So let's grab my lamp. Now I'm going to pop this on here because it is reflective. I'm going to pop my lamp on top of that. And then I'll be back in 99 seconds. Okay, so that's fully cured now. So this is what it's ended up looking like. As I said, that the resin has spread. We had like nice thin lines, and now it's spread out and it's sort of mixed in with that. But I think that looks a lot more natural. It's a lot more the way that you would get it in a shop. So now for the fun part, the swirl on top. So I always start from the straw, and I start right against the cured resin and just push with all my might until, there we go, until the nozzle starts flowing, and then we just very, very slowly bring it around, but that's really not working for some reason, so apologies. Okay, let's try again. There we go, that's better. Sort of. I feel like I've got a dead one here. It seems very dry inside. So I think somehow that's dried up a little bit, but we'll get there. We will get there. Okay, let's try both hands. That might help. There we go. That does help. And then we just continue to train that round until we get to the middle like that. There we are. It's not the prettiest thing. And I always put that little middle peak down because I think it looks better. Just going to fill in some of this extra bit around the edge. We've ended up with a teeny gap. All this bit on the side isn't going to matter. Once that's dried, it'll be nice and easy to get rid of. Just want a little bit more. And it's definitely a lot drier than normal, which is annoying. Okay, so just getting up with a little blob on my finger like that, and then just go and look and see if there are any holes, like that one there. Pop a blob in there, smooth it out, and then that looks a lot better. Just do that on any edges. This is how messy my hands would have been had I not had gloves on today. I knew I was going to be doing the Krispy Kreme, and I thought, definitely need gloves on for this. Just keep going till I'm happy with the overall shape of this. Oh no. So I've ended up with a bit there, so just pop that up against that, and there we are. That is the best it's going to get, I'm afraid, but I will clean that all up once it's cured, or not cured, but set, and it'll be much easier. Just give that a little tap. just to try and get that cream to, there you go. I'm going to throw this away because this was the worst tube of this stuff I've had so far. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that for 20 minutes and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is what it should look like. And that's what I did. So you can see the straw in there, even though it's right there. But yeah, it's not turned out too badly, I don't think. Yeah, I left it for 20 minutes and then I tidied up the glass, and that's what we ended up with. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm writing down names of everybody that likes, comments and subscribes on videos for the prize draw I'm going to do in February. As I say, the 3 people that are subscribed and have liked and commented will be getting a prize. If there's a lot more, then obviously I'll do, a wheel and get that to pick the 3 winners. But yeah, watch this space. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you and goodbye.